Average Pat's Movie Reviews.
Hi everyone, Average Pat here to sit to chat today about the movie Fractured. This movie was released by Netflix in 2019, just around Halloween time, along with 3 other movies trying to get the spooky spirit thing going. It's a complex thriller who really doesn't let you get a good grip on what's going on until when you think you have it solved, and you're not quite sure if you do. The director is Brad Anderson, who also directed The Machinist. And the cinematographer, I believe I'm pronouncing this correctly, please forgive me if I'm not, I believe is Bjorn Charpentier. The cinematography, I have to point out first before I get into the whole story, it's very difficult to film in a small environment with lots of hallways, lots of doors, lots of mirrors. This movie was filmed, a lot of it inside of a hospital. And if anybody's ever been in a hospital, you know they're not exactly the widest hallways, they're not exactly the biggest rooms. And the thing that they did good about this one was the hospital itself was not very well lit. They did make good use of the light that was in there and clever camera angles. There's one in particular which stood out for me, which was Sam Worthington's character is walking down the hallway. The camera panned underneath him and then went to one of those reflective bubbles where the cameras are and followed him as he walked away through the reflection without showing itself in the camera, or without showing itself in the frame. Simple, sounds crazy, but to me it was very neat use of something that we always see in a hospital and don't pay much attention to. Just a little detail like that showed a little bit of creative thinking outside of the box as to how to present the film. Like I said, the star in this movie is Sam Worthington. He plays Ray Monroe, and his wife, Joanne, and his daughter, Perry Monroe, are played by Rabe and Lucy Capri. Incredible jobs by those two as well. It's a very terse situation in the opening scene of the movie. Ray and Joanne are not getting along very well. They're on a road trip trying to go to a Thanksgiving feast with their family, and things just aren't working well. It's been a rough day. They're having arguments, going back and forth. They try to just come to an understanding and a disagreement. And Lily has a music player or some sort of toy in the back seat that runs out of batteries, and she has to use the facilities. They stop at a gas station, the first one they find in the middle of these roads, and Ray goes in to find batteries, you get drinks and stuff like that, supplies, and while they use the bathroom, comes back out, and Perry realizes that she left something in the bathroom, so her mother goes back in to get it. While she's doing that, Ray's trying to put something in the car and spills something, and in the process of spilling it, he's trying to clean it up. He's got Perry outside the car. She wanders over to an open construction site and is spooked by a dog. Ray tries to intervene, and she falls, and he falls in with her, landing at a pretty good distance, and they both get minorly injured. Perry has a fractured arm. They pass the hospital sign a couple miles back. They go to the hospital, and that's when things start to unwind. Without giving much more of the details away, I mean, it's kind of a really good setup, a little bit more detail than I usually go into. But then enter Stephen Tobolowsky, who plays Dr. Bertram, and Adjoa Ando, who plays the psychiatrist at this hospital, and a couple other people that do smaller roles that overlap in the areas that you would not expect them to. One person is an orderly, or is he a doctor? Is he a nurse? Is he a doctor? Is he an orderly? Is the admissions person an orderly, a nurse, or just an admissions person? It's kind of up in the air. You're not really quite sure. Something feels wrong about this hospital. Dr. Bertram decides that since they're on their road trip and Perry has a fractured arm, she also said she hit her head. He wants to get her a CAT scan. Makes sense. They're on the road, want to make sure there's no internal bleeding. Joanne and Perry go down the hallway to the elevator for the CAT scan. Ray says goodbye. A couple hours later, he's still waiting for them, and nobody knows who they are or what he's talking about. He thinks somebody's trying to cover up taking his family. Other people are saying he came in for a head injury himself. Nobody's making any sense. You're sitting there going, wait a second, how is this possible in a hospital like this? There's records, there's this, there's that, and it's explained very well how something simple like this could go wrong. Keeps you on your edge of your seat, and you're not quite sure what the reality is. The twists, the turns, the back and forth, the unbelievable aspects of some of this are incredibly well done by Brad Anderson. It keeps you guessing. You really don't quite have it figured out, even in the last couple minutes. It's not quite as big a moment as The Usual Suspects, where literally like the last 30 seconds is until you figure this movie out. But this one keeps you really on the edge of your seat and going, how is this? What is wrong? Who's right? What's going on here? Which I thoroughly enjoyed. The fact that it's a Netflix movie, not a big major studio movie, was impressive to me. They got a good cast, good big names. They got a nice little group of smaller names too, which were, people who have some small roles but are looking to do a little bit bigger. Put them in a movie like this with a big name star like Sam Worthington and Lily Rabe and Stephen Tobolowsky, who's been around forever. Everybody remembers Groundhog Day. Phil, he was that guy. You put them in a movie like this, you give them a chance to shine. You give them their moment. And everybody in this movie, I think, deserved their moments. It was a very well done, very well paced movie. The soundtrack and score were nothing phenomenal, but really kept you hooked. The score was there enough to give you a sense of a haunting moments. The contrast of good moments and bad moments were very well shown, both cinematographically, I don't know how that would be, and also through the music. But the main part that I liked was the contrast of different sections of the hospital. Some were dark, some were dimly lit, some were really bright when you wouldn't expect them to be. Others were really well done. The outside scenes, the nighttime scenes, very well done overall. So Brad Anderson, well done on my book. As an overall rating, I would give this movie easily a 3.5. I'd actually go so far as to say 3 3/4, 3.75 out of 5. It wasn't anything to seriously write home about, but it was definitely one to keep you on the edge of your seat and keep you guessing. The acting was very well done. Like I said, it wasn't really edge of your seat until the very, 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 very end, but it was there for a while. It's enough to keep you questioning your sanity as opposed to everybody else's in the movie. The fact that, like I said, it's a Netflix movie gives me a lot of hope for Netflix Studios, has the ability there to come out with some of their good movies. And same for things like Amazon Prime and Hulu movies and stuff along those lines. Smaller studios can still make a difference, and I like seeing stuff like that. If you appreciate this review or any of my reviews, please make sure to like them on Facebook. Click the little like button, the little thumbs up like. Subscribe to my YouTube page, and click the little notification bell. That way you'll know whenever I post a new review. I try to do as many as I can, and like I said recently, I've branched out and I'm trying to do more Netflix and Prime movies as well. Since the theaters are all closed in this area due to the current situation with the COVID-19 virus. So we got to embrace what we got and work with what I have. I will still be working on that list of movies that I own. Let me know if you have any you prefer that you want me to review. I've got a whole bunch of my own that I should be able to post onto my YouTube page for people to peruse and see what they want me to review. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.